Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to our Montessori Mondays live show. I'm so excited to be coming with, talking to you guys all about Montessori school versus traditional school, right? Or what are the benefits of doing Montessori at home when you aren't going to be sending your child to a Montessori school? So say hi in the comments if you're joining us live. If you've never seen me live before, there should be some directions at the top of this video to add your name so I can see who's chatting with me as we get started in the live show. And I'm just going to quickly put this video inside of the announcements so that everybody can find it. Oh, okay. Good. All right, let me find it here. Let's see. Hopefully it's showing up. It's not showing up on mine. Let me know if you guys are here, and let me know how old your kids are. I love to know exactly what age everybody is when we're chatting on here, what age your children are anyways, because that helps me kind of figure out where you're coming from. Okay, marked as announcement. All right, guys, I am so excited about this topic. Honestly, it's probably the most number one question I get asked, apart from how do you get started with Montessori? Let's see here. So I'm happy to be talking about this because I feel so strongly about it as well. And I know, I don't know, sometimes as parents, we really overthink things, but I'm going to make this easy to understand for you guys. So let's see if we have, hello, Elizabeth, how are you? Coming from Texas. My daughter is 18 months old. Lovely. I'm glad you're here to join us. Were you in the part of Texas that got some crazy weather this last week? I've been seeing pictures. I'm in Australia, for those of you who don't know. But I've been seeing some crazy pictures come through on the internet of all of these houses in Texas full of ice. Okay. So if you're just joining us, say hello and then there. Woo, I think hopefully you guys are still here with me. That was a big internet problem there. Let me know if you guys can see me. It's frozen. You're saying I'm so sorry. Hopefully it's coming back through. Oh, that's so frustrating. I'm so sorry about that. I'm going to wait until somebody lets me know that. Okay, there it is back. Good. Okay. Whew. All right. So what I was saying is that we're going to be talking about whether or not you need to have your child in a Montessori program to see the benefits of Montessori, right? So let me know in the comments, does your child go to a Montessori school or a Montessori daycare now? Okay, good. Thank you, Stephanie. You're back. Liza, thank you. Thank you. Good. Okay, good. I'm glad that we're back there. And I'm so glad you guys are here joining me live. Let me see here if I missed anyone. Good. Okay. So with everything going on in the world right now, there might be several reasons that you don't have your child in a Montessori program. Maybe you can't afford it, or maybe you're worried about the pandemic, or maybe you just don't have a Montessori program in your town which is the case for my family. And we live regionally in Western Australia right now. So the closest Montessori school to us, or daycare, is 5 hours from us. So that is just not going to happen. And obviously, if you have a 1-year-old, it doesn't mean that you need to have your child in a Montessori program right now, but in the future, your child will likely go to school or homeschool, whatever that might be. So we're just thinking kind of ahead for those of you that aren't going to be pursuing daycare. But whatever that reason is, you need to know that practicing Montessori isn't just for classrooms, right? One of the most common questions I get asked is, what's the point of doing Montessori at home if they won't be able to go to a Montessori school later down the line, right? And so that's 100% what we're going to be talking about today, and 100% that will benefit your child having Montessori in the home. And I want to kind of really focus on those benefits that I'm talking about. Why is it so beneficial to your child to experience Montessori at home? The first reason that we're going to talk about today is that your child is in their absorbent mind between the ages of 0 to 6, right? So what this means is that the age of 0 to 6, your child is spending the majority of their time with us, right? Their parents. And because they are in their absorbent mind during this stage, they're downloading everything around them, right? And they will be using these downloads to refer back on for their entire life. So this means that as parents have a huge impact on our children during these younger years, even while they're 18, 16 months old. So can you think of any memories that come up for you around this age? One memory that I always think about that had kind of this hand in shaping me is spending so much time with my grandparents as a young child. I've talked about this before, but they really helped raise me, as my mom was a single mother for a while, and the extra love and attention that I got from my grandparents all the time really helped shape me as the confident adult that I am today. So if you can, I would love to hear any of these memories that you guys have. I know sometimes it takes a little journaling to think of memories like that. And sometimes they might not be memories you want to share, but they all are these downloads that I'm talking about, this absorbent mind, just how your child learns to say please or thank you by you modeling it, you saying it to them. They're learning everything else too, right? They're absorbing it, they're downloading it, and they're going to keep it in their mind for the rest of their life. So it's a kind of a big task for us parents, isn't it? Another reason that Montessori at home is just as important, if not more important than Montessori school, is the Montessori principle, respect for the child. So you may have heard of some of the Montessori principles by now. And I find that when you look at them as mindsets versus principles, you can really start adapting them to your parenting style a lot easier. So let me just see here. I see some comments coming through, so I'm just going to go through those quickly. Started Montessori daycare 2 weeks ago. Sorry. My child does not attend a Montessori daycare. My kids used to attend a Montessori daycare. My eldest at a Steiner school. Cool. Erin is saying no, she's just at home. Okay. Hi, Vidya from Illinois. My sons are just turning 3 years old and 1 year old. My kids don't go to daycare or Montessori school. My 19-month-old baby boy, he has never gone to daycare. But I'm interested in starting him at daycare by 2 years of age. There is a Montessori option, but my husband isn't sold. Yes, so you definitely go check it out. Every facility is different. Obviously, I can't promote something I don't know, any program that I don't know, but the best thing that you can do, or the easiest way to figure out if it is for you, is going and just checking it out, right? Go, they should, allow you to have a viewing of the class. And that's a really good way. We went on a tour of a Montessori school to a place we're thinking about moving. And I took my husband, our whole family went. And ever since then, my husband wasn't against it by any means. He's happy. He really likes Montessori philosophies. But as soon as we took that tour of the school, he was like, wow, that's amazing. That was such a great experience. That's where I want my kids to go to school. So definitely, if you can, take a tour and, view a classroom. And somebody is homeschooling a 2-year-old, 6-year-old, 10-year-old as a former pre-primary teacher. Awesome. You've got your hands full there. Then three different curriculums, I suppose. Okay, so going back to our kind of Montessori principles versus viewing them as Montessori mindsets. When you practice the Montessori mindset of respect for the child at home, you're not only showing them how to treat others, but how others should treat them, right? So remember that they're in that absorbent period that we talked about, and they're going back to be like copying everything, monkey see, monkey do at this stage, and everything you do, and then they're going to store it to look back on and reference for the rest of their lives. So there's several ways that you can start to respect your child. One of the easiest ways is to start cutting out the baby talk. So if you do have a child that isn't well, 8 or younger, I feel like is time for baby talk, right? When you're, especially between 0 to 12 months. I know, when I had a baby, before I got into Montessori, of course I did baby talk. That's just normal. That's just Montessori. And it is with the Montessori mindset of respect the child and cutting out baby talk, and how much that really changed diaper changes for us, right? So you have to sign up for the challenge to get that story, because I won't go into today. But basically, you just speak to them as if talk means speaking to them by, instead of saying, hurry up and get your shoes on and get in the car. Maybe instead you would say, we're leaving now. Would you mind putting your shoes on and joining us in the car? And for those of you who have children who are in that no phase, where all they say is no, you might want to say something like, we are leaving now. Please get your shoes on and join us in the car. There's just a different tone when you speak with respect, right? You're not demanding, you're not commanding, you're asking for collaboration. You're working together to get the job done, right? So let me know, have you guys already started using that Montessori mindset of respecting your child at home? What ways do you show respect to your child? Share with us in the comments. Another way that you can really show respect to your child is, like I mentioned, asking for your child's collaboration. Like I said, I have this diaper change story, and at the next diaper change, if you're still changing diapers, ask them to lift their leg and collaborate. Even if there's no, communication on their part, you can still speak to them and ask them to collaborate. So this was a huge game changer for us. And I always tell this story, like I said, in the 4 Days to a Montessori Home Challenge. And if you've joined me before, you probably heard it. So speaking of the challenge, we get started on March 8th this time, and I'll be going over all the details on how to sign up at the end of this live show. So don't worry. Let me know what questions you guys have for me right now. And I'm going to go through the last kind of big reason that you don't have to send your child to a Montessori school to see the benefits. And this is something called the Montessori growth mindset. Now, the idea behind a Montessori growth mindset is to teach your child how to do things for their own gratification, not else's, including yours. This can be hard because a lot of us, we're going back to our own personal downloads of what our parents were doing in our absorbent mind. A lot of us had traditional parents who were more of authoritarian parents. So we, kind of close to the age of, being seen and not heard, and those type of things. So you didn't have a lot of respect for the child back then, right? And so changing that into this Montessori growth mindset is really going to help by helping your child do things for their own self, for their own satisfaction, right? Not because I told them to, because they want to, right? So this is hard at first, right? It's hard to get started, but changing just a few small things in your vocabulary with your child can go a long way. So for instance, instead of saying, I'm so proud of you, try saying, you must be so proud of yourself, right? Just a couple of tweaks to the exact same thing, but instead you're showing your child or letting them hear in this absorbent mind, in this absorbent period of their life, that it's important to do things that they are proud of, that they want to do, that they should feel satisfaction from. So you can kind of see the different tone there. I'm so proud of you. You must be so proud of yourself. So you can see there's just a little tweaking, but it does make a huge difference. And we are teaching our children not to do it for the reward, right? Or the praise or for us, but to do it for themselves and their own satisfaction, as I said. And I seriously could go on and on about the Montessori growth mindset because I think it's absolutely amazing, but we only have so much time today. Instead, what we have done is we have added a Montessori growth mindset bonus training to the 4 days to a Montessori home challenge that starts on March 8th. So we're going to have a whole 30 minutes to 60 minutes to talk about just the Montessori growth mindset. And we're going to do it like this live in our pop-up Facebook group. So you can ask all the questions that you need to ask about it, specific to your unique child and your unique home. And we're going to be getting started with that on March 8th. So if you are ready to learn more about a Montessori growth mindset, or respect for the child, or the absorbent mind, or how to really change your environment and your home to reap these benefits of Montessori, I'm going to go ahead and drop the link into the chat for anybody who hasn't already signed up that wants to. Let's see. And then I'm going to check out the comments and make sure I'm answering any questions you guys have about any of these topics that we talked about today. Oops. All right. See here. Hello, I'm Sarah. I have 3 kids, 5 months, 3 years, 5 years, just back in person as a primary lead in my kiddo's school after 3 months of virtual learning and 7 months of homeschooling on maternity leave. Awesome. So Sarah, are you in Australia? Or I'm guessing not the US if it's 7 months maternity leave. Stephanie, I love going through the motions of talking and collaborating with my daughter. She's 15 months old, but I know she's listening. Yes, absolutely. I'm so glad that you were able to kind of already know that. You're so far ahead from a lot of parents who haven't been introduced to Montessori, right? It's so important that, that's another thing, language, there's a sensitive period for language, and especially at that young age where they're not communicating back to you, it's hard for us to remember that they actually are absorbing everything we're saying. So, reading books, singing songs, all of that stuff, just talking to them with respect, they're all downloading that and they're using that for that language that they're going to come, Maria Montessori talks about the language explosion around the age of 2 years old. And you're going to be like, whoa, how did that happen? Like one day they're going to wake up and they're going to know how to speak sentences. And, you didn't sit down and show them how to speak sentences. They just figured it out and they've, wired their brain to do it. And it's because they've been downloading everything that you've been putting in front of them. Okay, so we have another comment. I have a 17-month-old singing and focus on books. Awesome, perfect. Okay, so let me know in the comments. Have you guys done the Montessori Home Challenge before? If you do want to learn more, like I said, about these topics, make sure you join us. I added the link in there. This challenge is literally designed to transform your main living space into a beautiful, prepared Montessori environment. It's not meant to be complicated or make your life difficult. It's the easiest small changes that you can make in your home to have these huge, big benefits of Montessori. So you don't need all the expensive materials to make it happen. And in our free pop-up Facebook group, we're all about supporting one another. There's no mom shaming or any of that going on there. We're just a supportive community, bringing each other up, right? So our challenge starts on March 8th and it finishes on March 11th. It's 4 days, absolutely free. And one lucky winner will win a scholarship to the Montessori Learning Center. If you don't know, I run the Montessori Learning Center where I help parents of 0 to 3-year-olds bring Montessori into their home easily and naturally. So you could win a full scholarship to the Montessori Learning Center, which is a value of over $370. So let me know what you think. Do you want to join in the fun? Make sure you click that link and join us if you do. I'm going to look here for any questions that I have. And if you are watching on the replay, I will come back and answer questions for you. I'll be checking this week to make sure any questions that come through. Let's see. First time hearing of it. Yes, definitely sign up and join us. Lizeth is saying, I have my child's Montessori shelf, but she just likes to get things out, plays a little, and then moves to another shelf. Feels like it is nonstop cleaning after her. Do I introduce her to use one shelf at a time and put things back? I try to show her, but she is just not interested in putting things back. Model. Consistency is key. I know sometimes that's like the most annoying answer. I used to really not like people giving that answer, but it is the answer. It's the truth. Let's see. I'm trying to scroll up to see how old your daughter is, Lizeth. 18 months old. So I would say it was between 18 months and 24 months when my daughter first, when both my children, actually, my son and my daughter, started to put their belongings back on the shelf without me asking, right? So this is closer to 2, but it was because I stuck with it, because every time they played with something, I said, okay, let's clean it up. And sometimes they would help me and sometimes they wouldn't. But either way, I'd be modeling or I'd be asking for their collaboration. Can you help me put this back in the basket so we can put it on the shelf? And one day, again, it's kind of like that language explosion. One day, she just picked up all the puzzle pieces and put it back on the shelf exactly where it went, right? And that's going to be that sensitive period for order that they get into. They're going to really have a strong sense that they want to put things back in order. So the more orderly your shelves are, the more consistent they are, and the more consistent you are with asking and collaborating on putting them back, the more, quicker you're going to see that happen. Hopefully that helps you there. I'm in New Jersey. I was lucky to have summer tacked onto my maternity leave. Nice. That is very good. Okay, so what is the first thing to do to start Montessori at home? Should I prepare the materials first? You should definitely join us in the Montessori Home Challenge, because that is exactly what we focus on. We're going to take basically your main living room, which is where Montessori suggests putting the shelves, and setting it up for your child or children at home. So we take it one day at a time. We've got 4 days, and at the end of 4 days, you'll have a beautifully prepared Montessori home environment, okay? So definitely join us. Join us for that, and I'm going to teach you exactly how to do, exactly how to set up your home, okay? Billie Jean, can't wait to learn as much as you have to offer. Awesome, that's great. I can't wait to have you join us. And somebody's saying, yes, good, okay. And Lizeth, thank you. All right, awesome, guys. Pop any more questions you have in the chat. As I said, I'll come back throughout the week and answer any questions. And just a reminder, whether you're not sending your child back to school or daycare because of the pandemic or because you don't have one available, it really doesn't matter. What does matter is what you're doing at home right now, right? It's so important. So be sure to join me for that Montessori Home Challenge. Use the link in the comments, and I hope to see you guys there. See you later.